Hi guys, this is just a bit of a video I'm making. I've just gone out and got myself a kegerator. It's a second-hand one. It's a Series 3, not the newer Series 4, but the one I've managed to get does have the newer controller in it from Keg King. The Series 4 actually lets you go to -4 degrees. Instead of 0 degrees, it actually lets you come down to -4 degrees. They actually have a thing on there showing you how you can change the control panel and update it to a Series 4 if you've got the older Series 3. Before I've set it up, I've gone out and I've decided to try and optimize it a little bit. So just a few of the ideas that I've had and worked on and built on other people's ideas. The first thing I'm up to is the font here. I've already taken the taps and the pipes out to give all that a clean. I'll just show you where I'm up to with that. I've already taken these screws out of it, so I'll just pull it off there. Now inside the font on this model, I don't know if it's with all kegerators, I'd expect it would be. They have this insulation tube, this foam. Now what you can see with mine is it's actually just sits underneath where the taps would come out. Now the idea of this tube is to try and keep the pipes cold up to the top of the font. It's the room that's in there is still quite a bit of room, so I decided to upgrade that a little bit. So what I've done is I've gone off to Bunnings and I've bought some more of this type of tube. Now I've brought one that's exactly the same diameter and hole size as the existing one, just to get a bit more length. And then I've gone out and got a piece that's actually got a slightly bigger hole but the same width. And then what I've come up with is by slitting the bigger one down the middle and wrapping it around the other piece and then cutting a section out and using a hot glue gun, I've double insulated it. And I've left a little bit at the end where it will slide inside to make the seal in the top of the actual kegerator. So once in, it sits in there nice and tight, and once inside the font, it fits in perfectly. Now what I'll do is when I do go to put my taps and things back in, is I'll actually cut holes in here to put my taps through, and then also in the top of the font I will close this top piece off with a bit of foam on top of that as well once I put the top back on the font. So that's my first idea, to try and keep my beer colder as it comes up through the font. But now the reason I've taken that off is because I'm going to pull this top off and come up with something else. Now what I've done is I've contacted the guys from Digital Home Brew. Michael there is fantastic. He's designed all this stuff. It only took 24 hours to get it out to me. This is their variable speed with on-off switch built onto the unit. Font Snake. Now I'm pretty sure if you guys have had kegerators or got kegerators, you've heard about the fonts not cooling as well, so they've come up with these fans that blow the cold air from out of the fridge up through the font to chill it. Michael's got a fantastic product, gives you the instructions for it on how to fit it in. He's got nicely done connectors, mounting screws, velcro tape if you don't want to attach it with screws inside the fridge. A nice simple end tubing to go on there. Now when I put this in, I will cut the piece that goes up into the font on a bit of an angle so it doesn't get blocked at the top of the font, so the air can come out nicely if it's on a bit of an angle. But the other thing I've come up with, even though there's an on-off switch on this unit which is fantastic and your variable speed, to me I'm not having a beer every day, and it'd be good if I don't have to have the font fan on all the time. So after having a chat with Michael, he was good enough to come up this wonderful add-in piece, which is in theory just an extension lead with a switch. And I plan to mount that in the top in the front of my kegerator, just onto the front here, somewhere on the front control. So I'll show you how easy it is to pull the top off and how to fit that in. So just at the back here of the kegerator, I've got 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. Just need to take them out. So you can see those screws are now being taken out. Now once they're taken out, it's just a matter of lifting the lid up, or the top up of the kegerator, and then slightly pushing it forward. When you push it forward, the front unclips under the front edge. Now once you've done that, it's just a matter of carefully lifting it up. You can see underneath you've got the little control panel at the front and just a couple of control wires coming up. One's your temperature wire, one's your control wire coming into the front of it. So it's really nice and really easy and really accessible to get in there. So if you're upgrading your control panel, this would be the one that you just change in the front. You just unplug those, put the new one in and plug them back in again. Now I plan just to put my switch that Michael's been fantastic to make up for me, just in the front here somewhere with enough room. So with the ability of that, I don't have to go into the fridge to turn my fan on and off all the time. And just as long as I turn it off, probably about 10 minutes before I'm going to turn it on, about 10 minutes before I'm going to use my unit or pour a beer. Now there is other font coolers out there on the market, but the reason I've gone with this one is it's actually got the on-off and a variable speed controller on it, so you can adjust how much air is being blown up to the top of the font. And they are handmade in Australia, and the support there is fantastic. He's after I spoke to him, he's made this other extra piece up for me and got it out to me overnight, which is just outstanding. So once again, I'd like to say a big thanks to Michael from Digital Home Brew. They do a lot of stuff there. It's worth having a look on their website. So I'm just back again. I've just turned the lid over. You can see my cables are still plugged in there. I've just been careful to turn it over. And then I've drilled a big enough hole in the front here beside the LCD where I can fit this add-in switch in. And I've also drilled a smaller hole through the back to run the cables. So I've popped the switch in the front there. You see it's nice and settled in the front. Now I like the good old glue gun, so what I've done is I've just tacked the wire down and let it round a little bit, just in through this channel where it won't interfere with the top of the fridge. Drilled a hole through the back there and glue gunned it up as well, just to stop that cable getting pulled or